Imagine a world where our financial system operates completely independently of any political agenda or narrative or ideology, where our financial economic decisions aren't heavily influenced by the biases of those in power. And I want to look beyond the divide. In my exploration, I want to sort of touch upon the relationship between money and politics and ideologies and narratives, and maybe how Bitcoin represents some opportunity for us to bridge a divide and become something other than the polarized society that we often see playing out in the world. And I want to try and uncover some shared values that may lie beneath the surface of our political ideologies and landscapes. Because I think there's some real power in the political narratives, and I think we need to acknowledge that the funding of these narratives are at the root of the issue that I want to address. And across the globe, the flow of money and power and political campaigns, obviously, I feel profoundly shape ideologies and directions and narratives and agendas. And it's this funding, I think, that often gets aligned with the interests of the powerful or the affluent or the narrative creators, if you like, and they craft these policies and decisions that resonate through societies. And I want to try and sort of touch upon the impact that this might have as a dynamic, like the United States and the United Kingdom and beyond, and the impact that that has. Obviously, there are some critical elections on the horizon. Political entities and parties and think tanks are starting to sort of issue narratives out there about the things they're unhappy with the economy and immigration, social policies, injustices, or difference of opinion and other narratives, and they weaponize these things in order to battle out the hearts and minds of the people. And I think that these narratives are carefully created and they influence how we ultimately perceive the world around us. And what does that really say about our collective psyche and the social values that we ultimately feel that we hold in society? And there seems to be this battle of philosophies within the societies that we live in, and we really need to acknowledge how the economy and money is influencing these narratives, and how government intervention illustrates the ideological rifts that define our era, and that these beliefs ultimately deeply are ingrained to inform the policies that shape our lives around us. And these ideologies reflect a deeper value and feed into our hopes and aspirations for a better future. And I think there's some impact that we need to acknowledge when it comes to money, and the reality that fiat money and its sources significantly shape the ideologies. And it's undeniable that the financial backers of the political parties actually have the considerable influence and power, and they contribute to the polarization and the characters that our political systems have, and the energy and things that we subscribe to, and the discourse that we find ourselves in. And I want to consider the implications of this relationship in our societal collaboration and cohesion, if you like. And that maybe Bitcoin is a catalyst for change, and it's emerged to challenge the status quo, if you like, and it offers us this alternative system where we can actually disentangle ourselves from the political influences that we currently have to endure. And that Bitcoin kind of invites us to sort of really question the foundations of our understanding of society and economies and how we interact with it. And maybe there's a possibility for us to imagine an alternative future where we're independent and more critically minded, and maybe that we can sort of come up with our own narratives and ideologies and political opinions about social economic structures within the world in a decentralized future. And that maybe there's some discovery here to be had in the shadow of the political system, and maybe there's truths and a shared humanity, and we hold some common values that actually unite us in some way. And through a Bitcoin lens, maybe we can be encouraged to look beyond these ideological divides and find common ground in our collective pursuit of a more fairer, more just world, in a way. But anyway, thanks for sort of coming on this inquisitive, rambling journey of mine through how the intersection of money and politics is kind of potentially influencing the way that we think. And now that we understand Bitcoin, maybe we should ask ourselves about our own realities and how we perceive the world, and who we subscribe to when it comes to politics and the narratives that we hold as truths. And maybe as we move forward into this Bitcoin, more hyper Bitcoinized world, maybe we can sort of remember that beneath our differences, there's things that lie beneath that maybe unite us in some way. And we have some shared desires for a better, more inclusive future, ultimately. But that's me. What about you guys? Let me know. And as always, stay curious.